Beto ORourkes' team gears up for a 2020 presidential bid as announcement looms politics. O'Rourke aides have spoken with Democratic operatives in recent weeks about a presidential campaign. This week another change happened 9 days ago. O'Rourke took the fore. The shift was a small but telling sign as the former Texas congressman rules out another U.S. Senate run and is on the verge of announcing his plans. Anticipation in his hometown for a presidential run is building, but O'Rourke's friends and family say they are still waiting to hear from him about whether he will run and when he'll announce it. Honestly, she said O'Rourke had discussed the pros and cons of a presidential campaign in depth with his family several weeks ago, but that as of Thursday morning he had not yet told them what he planned to do. O'Rourke aides have begun reactivating the massive email list he built during his failed Senate bid in the 2018 midterm elections. It had been dormant. The two most recent emails asked recipients to take a survey about the issues most important to them, how they might work for a campaign, and how to reach them. The sort of information campaigns regularly collect about individual supporters they hope to turn into donors and volunteers. Sticking to the end of February timeline head laid out to Oprah Winfrey weeks earlier, O'Rourke said in a statement Wednesday that he and his wife, Amy O'Rourke, have those close to him read his comments and the reality that if he didn't intend to become a candidate, he could have just said so, as implying a presidential campaign is likely. O'Rourke has called some of his closest political allies outside El Paso in recent days. One person who spoke with him this week said that person declined. Anticipating a presidential announcement is coming soon. Two groups that launched in recent months attempting to draft O'Rourke into the presidential race and lay groundwork for his campaign in the early voting states are preparing to activate the lists of supporters they've built, as well. One group prepared an email blast to send its 30,000 subscribers to O'Rourke's website upon its launch. The group's leader, another group launched a Beto. Near O'Rourke's house, a neighbor, Michael Reyes, printed his own stickers to cover the fore. For months, O'Rourke has said publicly and in conversations with friends that his biggest hesitation about a presidential run is the time away from his 3 children: Ulysses, 12, Molly, 10. O'Rourke attended high school at a boarding school in Virginia, and then college in New York City, in part due to a strained relationship with his own father, Pat O'Rourke, who was a local politician. The two rebuilt their O'Rourke really. Friends said O'Rourke was particularly concerned about how a run would impact his elder son. Steve Ortega, an O'Rourke friend and fellow former city councilman, said he was at O'Rourke's house during this year's college football national championship game. Beto. O'Rourke has said lately, though, that after spending time at home with his children in recent months, they are more supportive. In an early February interview with Winfrey in New York City, he joked that Ulysses is. On Wednesday night, O'Rourke, who had ridden a bicycle several blocks to the pro-gun control group's event, declined to offer any additional details about the timeline to reveal his decision about a 2020 presidential campaign or how he would do so.
Raindrop, drop top smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park, pot.